Oh, say, can you hear?
Yet another red light.
Well, I'm gonna spill all
The secrets you're holding
About the spaceships up there and the aliens down here and all history,
which is totally fake.
Check this out. My brother says to me, he goes, you're going to have to go find somewhere to live coming up here because you're a nut job and I don't want you living inside my house anymore. The next morning, something was going to happen that was going to guarantee it now, to seal my fate, that he was going to kick me out of his house. I woke up the next morning and felt a sharp, excruciating pain right at the top of my ears right here. And I woke up the morning. I got up and the pain was intense and I woke up like, what the hell is this? I'm at this sharp pain and I kept feeling something clicking inside my ears. Click, 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 like an electrical shock. Click, click. So I get up and I tried to stand up and I had no balance and I lost my balance and dropped on the ground on the right side of my shoulder. And I tried to get up and I kept feeling myself shifting to the right like my balance was knocked out. So I called my brother. I said, Steve, something is wrong. I said, I've got a problem. He goes, hey, dumbass, you have an earring infection. You got to go to the doctor. So I set an appointment with the doctor. My doctor at the time, she looked at my ears. She goes, you don't have an earring infection. She goes, what do you mean you have a click ear? So she sent me to an ENT. And I went to an ENT and went out to go see Dr. Mark Nichols in the big, huge hospital, Memorial Hospital. That's that one with the big tower on top out there now. Checked inside my ears. It turned out I didn't have an earring infection. And I said, he goes, you don't have vertigo. And he checked me for vertigo. I've been doing, standing on one leg. And he says, you don't have vertigo. And I said, doctor, I've got a clicking inside my ears. He goes, what do you mean you have a clicking? I said, something is clicking. I can feel it clicking. I can hear it go click, 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 click. And it would stop starting click, 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 click. And then the pain a couple weeks later went away. The pain kept going by, but I had no balance. I was walking around the city, holding on to stuff. I couldn't work out the gym. I could not. Every time I'd stand, I'd be standing up and tensing my calves to keep myself from dropping over in public and holding on to things. I had a disability now. I had a physical disability. I couldn't walk without falling over. So what ended up happening was I decided I am going to come clean and talk to Dr. Mark Nichols. I said, doctor, this may sound crazy, but something is going on. Have you ever heard of alien abductions? Patients come in having a clicking inside your ears or claiming that they're being abducted by aliens. He goes, no. He goes, I have a theory of what could have happened to you. I think you had a stroke. Because if you had a stroke, that could explain dizziness. He goes, I'm not certain. I need to send you to Gulf Coast Labs to go get some x-rays, to get an MRI done. So my ENT sent me to Gulf Coast Labs off of 59 to go get an MRI. I check in with the clerk and I go inside the scanning room, the screening room for the MRI. And I greet the technician in there, and the technician says hi, and he goes, sir, your ENT has ordered some tests. We have to do an MRI on your brain to check to see if you had a stroke. And I need you to sign this waiver here because we're not allowed to discuss with you if we find anything. I go up in the tube. I just happen to feel this thing clicking inside my ears. Click, click, click. And I moved for a second. I was trying to move my arm. And I happen to look, and I see a man 40 feet away behind a cabinet on a wall looking at me with these eyes. He was wearing a red button shirt, and he was a bald Caucasian man about mid-30s, about 5'8", 5'9", looking at me. And I said to the technician, who's the guy back there in the red shirt by the shelf? The technician is looking at me and I'm right there. The technician doesn't even turn around to look. He goes, we're the only ones back here. I said, there's a guy back here. So I dragged myself out from the MRI tube. And right as I do it, the guy is turning around to look to see who's back there. And the guy in the red shirt just walked quickly, right in time before he's about to see me, and walk right through the wall at the entrance of the building. Right through the wall. So I get up and I go through the door and confront the assistant up front, the clerk, and said, did you see a man walk out of here with a red shirt? She goes, no, there's no one here with a red shirt. It's just me, another assistant, and the technician. The other one doesn't come in until 4 o'clock. So I go back inside. I'm thinking about this. I'm seeing things. I said, okay, let me go back up in the tube. So we're doing the MRI. All of a sudden, I see the technician get up. And I see him look at me inside the tube. He goes, hey, don't move for a second. I have something I need to tell you. We're not supposed to let you know. Something showed up. You have something right there by your ears. So I'm laying down inside the tube and I'm here talking to him. I said, son of a bitch, I knew it. I said, what is in there? He goes, you have some type of metal type of thing that's shaped some type of a spear-like thing right inside your ears, inside the bone, inside your ears. I can see it. I said, I need to see it when I get out of here. He goes, wait till it's done. I'll tell you what we have to do. So he got in and I crawled and he goes, look here. I have to email the MRIs to the ENT. I said, don't email the MRIs to the ENT. I said, I need to see what that is. He goes, we have to do it. He goes, don't worry too much. He goes, how are you feeling? I said, I'm having some kind of bounce. He goes, something is in there. He told me something's in there. So I went ahead and left. The next day, around 1 o'clock p.m., Dr. Mark Nichols, ENT, contacted us. I need to talk to you for a second. Have a minute? He goes, I've got some good news. Your MRIs came out perfectly. You have not had a stroke. Everything is perfect. I said, what about the thing by my ears? He goes, what thing by your ears? I said, this thing that's embedded inside my ears, the technician saw it. I said, the technician is not supposed to tell me, but he says that he wanted me to talk to you because he saw something there. He goes, he saw something there? He goes, there's nothing there. So the ENT brings out the whole packet and starts looking at it, showing me all the MRIs, and there's nothing there. So the ENT looked at me and said to me, if it's metallic, there's another type of test that we can do, another type of a scan that we can use that will see that. I want to see what this thing is. He goes, I've been doing a little checking up on this stuff right here and talked to a couple of people. They said we need to use a certain scan. I need you to come back in. I want to see what that is. I want to go in there. I want to see what that is. So I said to him, even if you see what it is, we can't do anything about it. So he kept calling me a couple of times. He had contacted me a couple of times trying to get me to sit. I just went ahead and avoid him. It didn't even occur to me after this was going on for 6 months of having balancing problems going on to go back to go see the psychic. It's been 6 months. So I go back out there to see her. She said that you got implanted, that you were having trouble with the implant, and that the implant was going to grow into your ears, and that your balance will return exactly when January comes around. I go to bed one night, I get up the next morning, and my balance is back, and all the pain has been completely gone. Almost. I was still having no trouble. Within a week, I went back to the gym and I'm now working out for the first time, doing squats, bench presses, all these things I enjoy so much. And I was now back to normal.
Another person I know of here in town had gone to bed one night and I think he heard a humming sound or something, and he realized that he was all of a sudden paralyzed, and he felt himself like being scanned, kind of like a scanner would do, and it like started at his feet and moved up his entire body, and he could not move while it was happening. And he was wide awake when it occurred, and he doesn't know whether that was the start of an abduction situation or not, but he had some sort of medical scan from toe to head, and he was paralyzed while it was occurring.
Say, can you finally
Start telling us the truth.
Protect our civil liberties and
all wars now?